a medic or first aid or something here. Let's see if they have a pulse oximeter and check your oxygen and just make sure you're okay. Maybe you're just feeling like that, but it's really okay. So we find security and they take his pulse ox and he's fine. His pulse ox was like 98, 99. So he was getting air, even though he felt like he wasn't. And so, but he was just really restless. We just wanted to pace back and forth, back and forth. And so we found a spot at the top of the theater in the very back, and we decided to sit up there so that he could get up and walk behind the seats as he needed. So the show went on, and he would sit for a few minutes and then get up and walk around for a few minutes and then sit for a few minutes and then get up and walk around for a few minutes. And we got back home that night and I was exhausted from the night before, and then I didn't sleep very well once we got home. And so we get upstairs and he's like, babe, I just need you to talk to me. And so I talked to him for a few minutes. He is walking a hole in the floor of the room that we're staying in at my parents', back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so I ended up falling asleep. I felt horrible about it, but I did. I was just so tired. But he told me he was up for another 3 hours. And then the next day he gets up after getting very little sleep again. He gets up, and this is Sunday. I'm sitting there visiting with family. There's family that drove up from Little Rock. We're sitting there visiting, having a good time. He comes down the stairs and he's like, we need to go to the hospital. So I'm like, okay, like, let's go. And so we drove to the hospital. As I've seen many people say, and our coach has said this too, we didn't actually go into the ER. We sat in the parking lot because that's where he felt safe, because he felt like if something happened that we were there, right? So how many of you have done that? Probably a lot. So we sat there in the parking lot and we talked about it. You know, what is this? Why is this happening? What is going on? All of that. And we decided to get a hotel in Branson, which was 1 mile from the hospital, just in case. And so we did that, and we stayed there for the next whole week.